Hello everyone, today we are at Idea Lab to talk about IC tests. Firstly, let's start with what are ICs, or as we call them, integrated circuits. So integrated circuits are a set of circuits on a piece of flat silicon chip. Silicon or any other semiconductor. Usually silicon is used. So talking about the history of
अबे जल्दी बोल कल सुबह पनवेल निकलना है
IC testers, in early 1960s and 1970s, IC testers weren't used for complex purposes because ICs were smaller, simpler, and did not require much time to be tested. So single components were tested earlier. But since the ICs became more complex in 1980s and 1990s, there was a need for accurate, precise readings of the IC testers so that we know if the particular IC was working or not. Today, we have ICs which are much more functionable and give us much more functions about the ICs and also tell us if the ICs are working or not.
कौन है ये लोग? कहाँ से आते हैं?
हिस्ट्री तो नया पता चला। एप्लीकेशन करे?
सच में आता है तुझे?
गजब बेइज्जती है
अब तो दिखाई देता हूँ। So this is the digital, this is the analog. Let's begin.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो।
Okay, so before he does everything, let's quickly go through a fun fact. So in the fun fact, I'd like to tell you how the IC tester works. So it basically works on the same test and gives the same result every time. But how? It actually checks the functionality of every component one by one, but automatically within the tester. So this is easier to do than the earlier ones which required to check each and every component separately.
Let's know now about the buttons which are there in the analog IC tester. So these are the numbers. Just we have to for entering the IC number. So this will be the test. After entering the number, we have to press the test so that the machine works on it. This is the auto search. It will directly auto search which kind of IC is it, and even we have the same button name called self testing. It will work on its own. Then step means it will show basically in the step by step which pin has an which gate in this IC, and this about means while working on the IC we can just click on this so that the program is terminated. Now get on to the digital one. Here are the switches are the less as it is a digital version of it, so it just contain a pass or fail, which means the work IC is a good condition or a bad condition. So in this we can give two inputs. First is 5 volt and the second one is 12 volt. And this is for the clear one to just erase all the numbers. Types are the ICs which we are going to test. So firstly we are going to place the IC into the tester and then we will lock it. And for example now this IC number is 74194. So just we will enter the number. As it shows the pass, so basically this IC is working in the working condition.
Nice.
Now let's move on to the analog one. So here we are going to test the IC number 555. So let's place it here. So this is also in a working condition. The only catch in between these both are in the digital one we have to place the IC from the above, and in the analog we have to place the IC from the bottom, and the rest of the procedure is the same. Just we have to enter the IC numbers into the machine and just we have to check for the pass or the fail. So if the machine shows the pass, this means the IC is in a working condition, and if the machine shows fail, this means the IC is not in a working condition. Thank you.
Thank you.